So, I just spent 5 hours inside the partner only playtest for Midnight Walkers, and it was a freaking roller coaster. I'm talking about crazy PvP fights, amazing dev interactions, some slight server issues, and combat that feels stiffer than my morning coffee. But honestly, I had a blast. Let's talk about it. Alright, so what even is Midnight Walkers? It's an upcoming PvPvE extraction game that's being developed by One Way Ticket Studio. And while everyone loves to compare games to things like Escape from Tarkov or Dark and Darker, this one's definitely trying to carve out its own lane. Basically, you drop into a multi-floor facility that's absolutely infested with zombies and all kinds of infected monsters. Your job is to loot as much as possible, fight your way through increasingly dangerous floors, and somehow extract alive with all your stuff. The deeper you go, the tougher everything gets, but the rewards go up too. So it's that classic extraction game loop of deciding how much you're willing to risk for better loot. And yeah, it's got that awesome mix of tension, decision making, and panic-laced looting that keeps you on edge every single run. So the partner playtest they ran lasted 5 hours, and I was lucky enough to get invited as part of their partner program. At first, everything ran pretty smooth. Until the servers decided to go full meltdown. Classic playtest problems, right? But the devs deserve a ton of credit. They were in the partner Discord the entire time, giving real-time updates. They even posted photos of themselves working in the office to reassure us they were on it. They actually jumped into some of our Twitch chats too, just to thank creators for showing up and to check in on how things were going. You don't see that kind of transparency often, and it honestly impressed the hell out of me. Once the servers settled down and we could actually play, a few things stood out right away. First off, the atmosphere in this game is incredible. The lighting is dark and moody, but it's still bright enough that you can actually see where you're going, which is a big deal in games like this. The zombies are genuinely stressful. Some just kind of shuffle towards you, but others sprint at you like they've been drinking energy drinks all night. And then there's the loot loop. It's super addictive. You're always asking yourself, do I extract now? Or do I risk going just one more floor up for better stuff? They really nailed that tension. Of course, it's not all perfect. Combat definitely still needs some polish. It was stiffer than my morning coffee. Melee swings can feel floaty. Sometimes it's hard to tell whether your hits are actually landing or if you're just waving your weapon around hoping the enemy falls over. It's not game breaking, it's just the kind of early access jank you expect in a test. But based on how responsive the devs have been, I'm hopeful they'll tighten it up. So, let's break down exactly how Midnight Walkers actually works, because this is where a lot of people have questions, especially if you're coming from games like Tarkov or Dark and Darker. When you start a raid, you can choose to go in completely solo, or you can team up as a duo, or even a trio. There's no bigger squad size than 3 players right now, at least based on the latest test. You load into the lower floors of this massive facility that's crawling with zombies and infected creatures, and your main goal is pretty simple on paper. Loot everything you can, stay alive, and extract before someone else either kills you or the mobs swarm you. The map is multi-level, and every floor layout is randomly generated each time you play. That means room placements, corridors, enemy spawns, and even the location of loot can all change from run to run, so you never quite know what's waiting around each corner. As you fight your way through, you'll run into groups of zombies that vary in how dangerous they are. Some of them move slowly and just kind of stumble towards you, but others are fast and aggressive, and they'll rush you the second they spot you. But honestly, the zombies aren't your only problem. Because the entire game is designed as a PvPvE experience, which means while you're busy fighting off infected, there's also the risk of running into other real players who loaded into the same raid as you. Sometimes you might bump into another squad and just awkwardly ignore each other, hoping no one shoots, but other times it turns into an instant fight for survival, where the winner takes all the gear. And trust me, that's where Midnight Walkers gets really tense. Because it's one thing to deal with AI zombies, but it's a whole other level of stress knowing that a human squad might be listening for your footsteps, waiting for the perfect moment to ambush you right after you fought a huge mob and you're low on health. And here's the key detail. Yes, the deeper you push into higher floors, the better and rarer the loot becomes. That's 100% confirmed by the dev team, but it also means the enemies hit harder, the map layouts get more complex, and there's an even higher chance you'll run into other squads looking for the same high-value loot. So the core gameplay loop becomes this constant gamble. Do you extract now and bank the gear you've already picked up, or do you risk heading to the next floor for even bigger rewards, knowing you might lose everything if it goes sideways? One of the things that gives me hope for this game is that One Way Ticket Studio already has a public roadmap out. Here's some of what they're planning next. More enemy types and elite bosses. New classes and more weapon variety. Full crafting systems and player-to-player trading. Better animations and smoother combat. Seasonal content and ongoing updates. So this isn't some one-off indie experiment. They're clearly trying to build something big and stick with it for the long haul. Loot in Midnight Walkers isn't just for selling and forgetting. The devs have hinted at full trading systems, crafting, and maybe even player-run shops down the line. So every time you extract with gear, it actually matters. You're building up your stash, your wealth, and your options for future runs. It's risk turned into real progression. So yeah, even with all the chaos, and with the short time frame on this partner-only playtest, I am genuinely excited for Midnight Walkers. As a huge fan of PvPvE extraction games and a veteran Dark and Darker player, this game scratches that itch. I'm definitely going to be playing the next open playtest, and I'll be streaming it live on my Twitch at twitch.tv/Nocktra. So if you want to see me lose all my hard-earned loot, or just see me get jump scared by zombies, feel free to come hang out. And if you're curious about how the next test goes, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and remember, don't greed one more floor. Unless you're me.
No. Get the schmoovement going. Get the schmoovement going. I'm in there. Go. Oh,
I closed it! Oh, you don't die right away. Okay.
no.
No!
I closed it! It didn't close!
They opened it.
Not like this, boys. Oh my god.
boys.
Okay.